Hi all, in this video we'll try to talk about a Mars transition in Gandanta that's going to happen very in a very few days. Especially if you observe, Gandanta point is the junction between a watery sign and a fiery sign like Scorpio and Sagittarius, or Pisces or Aries, and then Cancer and Leo. Between them you have the Gandanta point. What is Gandanta point? Basically Jyeshtha 4 Mula first, these two means Jyeshtha 4th pada, Mula 1st pada, called the Gandanta points. As well as here in the Pisces you can see Revati 4th and then Ashwini 1st pada. These two padas are also Gandanta points. And here in Cancer and Leo junction, Aslesha 4th pada and Magha 1st pada. These two are the Gandanta points, right? So whenever a planet, a very powerful planet like Mars, is transiting in this Gandanta points, it may trigger some events related to the Mars stuff. Mars stuff is generally the military stuff, and also the blood related diseases. And Mars is about the armed forces of a country like police and military, right? So Mars also related to the mechanical engineering stuff, or the surgeons in the medical field. Mars generally represents the surgeons, right? So Mars is basically the force, the strength, right? So Mars also is related to the flights, the aircrafts, the war helicopters and war flights and all the stuff. So of course, Mars, every year you can see Mars transiting the Gandanta points, and some many very minor stuffs would be going on around the world. But when Mars is in Gandanta, and that at the same time, if you are able to see a kind of frictional environment between Saturn and Sun, or there's any kind of interaction between Saturn and Sun, and at the same time, if you observe, Rahu is watching the Mars, right? And at the same time, Rahu is also watching the Saturn. Just imagine that kind of situation. That kind of situation. Of course, no need to imagine it, because it is going to be occurring in the very near future, right? So if you're able to find that kind of situation, it's going to trigger some military related bad events, some terroristic events for sure, and the especially the fire accidents, very severe fire accidents, and any kind of blood related disease can erupt. And one more thing is the military. Military would be having very bad days. So let's try to analyze the Mars position here. So Mars in Gandanta here represents Mars in Jyeshtha 4th pada, and also Mars in the Mula 1st pada. So here on 9th January, Mars is going to be in the Jyeshtha 3rd pada. Let me increase the date here. So it's on 12th Jan that Mars is going to be in the actual Gandanta point, that is Jyeshtha 4th pada. And then on 13th also it would be there, and on 16th, if you observe, it's going to be Mula 1st, and 18th Mula 1st, and 20th also the Mula 1st, 21st Jan it is going to Mula 2nd. So till 20th Jan, so it's from 12th Jan to 20th Jan. That is the very crucial period for any kind of Mars related things, right? So what is the significance of this particular Mars transition? Basically, of course, Mars is in Gandanta, that is in Jyeshtha 4th pada or Mula 1st pada, from 12th January 2022 to 20th January 2022. During this time, Rahu, of course, is going to watch Mars to an extent, not completely, because Rahu is at 4 degrees, so he can clearly watch the 4 degree of Scorpio very easily. But as Rahu is a kind of, it's always a retrograde planet, so you can also, you can also feel the impact of this particular Rahu on Mars at 27 degrees of Scorpio. Even though it is not 4 degrees Scorpio, Mars is not at 4 degree of Scorpio, it is at least at 27 degrees of Scorpio. So you can still feel the impact of Rahu on Mars here. And this Rahu is also watching Saturn with its ninth aspect, right? At the same time, there is another powerful transition that's happening that is also called as the Makara Sankramana. That is, the sun is moving to the Makara Rashi, that is the Capricorn. So clearly on 14th January, you can see sun is moving to the Capricorn. So the sun's energy and Saturn energy are coming very close on 14th Jan, and especially you can pick a date, something like 20th Jan, right? So that time sun is at 6 degrees and Saturn is of course at 19 degrees. It's not going to be very close conjunction, but still Saturn and sun in the sky, if you can observe, it is at 19 degrees and sun is at 6 degrees. So the difference is only 13 degrees. So just in the 13 degrees space in the sky, you can observe sun and Saturn with respect to Earth, right? So at the same time, Mars is also going to be in the Gandanta that time, and Rahu's impact is also to an extent, especially on 14th January. You can see everything is very much prominent. That is, Saturn and Sun are together in the same Rashi, at least in the same zodiac sign. At the same time, Rahu is watching Mars and Rahu is watching Saturn, right? So at least to an extent, Rahu is watching Mars and also Saturn. It may not be an exact aspect, but yes, it is a very powerful aspect, you can say. And this particular Mars is also watching the Jupiter with its fourth aspect. The Mars is not so good here. Mars is very strengthy because Mars is in its own sign, that is Scorpio. And at the same time, Mars is with Ketu here. Ketu's impact is also there because Ketu is very undirectional. So it's clearly it can clearly trigger some painful events related to military, related to wars, related to any kind of blood related diseases, related to fire accidents, right? Very big fire accidents you can observe all around the world, and a sense of war you can always feel, right? It's really going to give a kind of war signal, right? It is giving a war signaling. It's basically it's not a positive energy, it's a negative energy on the world, right? So even more, this Mars is watching Jupiter, so you can expect some kind of religious people would be dying, right? Would be killed, would be assassinated, or Jupiter also represents the strength of the financial strength of a country, and you can also understand the financial strength. Of course, with the current situation, the financial strength of different countries are going down, and this particular Mars, which is a very painful Mars, is also watching the Jupiter. So expect some kind of people related to the judicial system, maybe the court judges or court lawyers would be killed, right? Can be the Mars oriented people, something like someone like a terrorist, someone like a Naxalite, someone like a police, a bad police, right? A bad military man, or any kind of you cannot expect a bad military man, because generally military people are they are very good at serving their country. So basically the Mars oriented people may kill some Jupiter oriented people. Jupiter oriented people like the religious people, the court judges, or someone like a lawyer, right? Someone like a teacher, someone like a guru, religious guru. So you can expect this kind of events would be happening because of this, right? So basically the Mars is becoming very painful to the world. So the time window is from 12th January 2022 to the 20th January 2022, right? And Saturn is also not supporting here. Saturn is very powerful. It's a very malefic planet, and it is ensuring all the negative energy only. And Saturn and Sun conjunction here is ensuring a kind of terroristic attack, right? So this is the whole picture here. It's a kind of bad situation. Yeah. So that's the time window, 12th January 2022 to 20th January 2022, where people can take some precautions. Even Mars represents some kind of accidents, right? Better people avoid traveling also during this time, 12th January 2022 to 20th January 2022. But unfortunately, people would travel more during this time because it is a festival time in India, right? People celebrate a festival called Sankranti during this time, so they may travel a lot. So but this is not a good time for traveling also, right? And this is it. Even more if you observe Mars in Gandanta, Mars in Jesta 4 or Mars in Mula first, we're talking about when Mars is in Jesta 4, the lord of Jesta is Mercury, basically. So Mercury is also going to be in the sign of Capricorn, where it is associated with the malefic Saturn here, right? So Mars transition, any which way, it is not at all good. And even more, even if Mars is going to be in the Mula first, which is another Gandanta point here, it's very painful. Basically Gandanta points are the karmic balancing points, and in mundane astrology they are treated as the painful event triggering elements if the lords of those nakshatras are also not very supportive. Here even more, when Mars is going to be in the Mula first pada, the Ketu, the lord of Mula nakshatra, which is in the Scorpio sign, in the sign of Scorpio, which is very much exalted. So Ketu is also very powerful here. So any which way, this Mars is definitely going to trigger very painful events. So something like any kind of Mars related persons may have very bad time. Something like the armed forces, the military forces, the police, this kind of people may have very, very bad time during this time. And even these people may become very furious. These people would become very furious, and as much here Saturn is also very powerful, so there is going to be a powerful opposition from the people also. So it's a kind of people versus the Mars oriented people, right? So there would be a terroristic attack also, because Sun and Saturn are also coming very closer in the Capricorn world, that is very practical world. So this is it. Thanks for watching this video.